The garage sale was at the end of the block, the kind that always seemed to pop up after a long winter, like mushrooms after rain. Ellie wandered through the mismatched tables of old toys, yellowed paperbacks, and tarnished silverware, her fingers brushing over trinkets with no intention of buying, but then she saw it. The woman shrugged but didn't meet her gaze as Ellie handed over the crumpled bill. "Don't say I didn't warn you," she muttered. Back at her apartment, Ellie set the mask on her coffee table and snapped a few pictures for Instagram. It looked perfect against the chaos of her mismatched furniture and thrift store finds. That evening, after a couple of glasses of wine, Ellie couldn't resist trying it on. She giggled at her reflection in the mirror. The mask was heavier than she expected, its edges cool against her skin. But when she reached up to pull it off, her fingers met resistance. It was perched on a dusty mannequin head, half hidden under a pile of scarves. The mask was vintage, clearly handmade, with intricate carvings etched into its surface. The paint was cracked and faded, but the craftsmanship was undeniable. Its hollow eyes seemed to stare straight at her, the corners of its mouth curling into a playful, almost mocking grin. "How much for the mask?" she asked the old woman running the sale. The woman squinted, her face tightening. $5, she said, then added in a lower tone, "But you don't want that." Ellie laughed. "Sure I do, it's weird. Weird is my style." She tugged harder. The mask didn't budge. "Okay, weird," she muttered, her voice muffled behind the carved wood. Her pulse quickened as panic set in. She clawed at the edges, but they seemed to meld with her skin, seamless. Her laughter turned nervous, then it stopped altogether. In the mirror, something changed. The eyes of the mask, dull and lifeless a moment ago, glimmered faintly, as if embers smoldered deep within. Her reflection moved, but not the way she did. When she froze, it tilted its head, watching her. "You're mine now," the reflection whispered. Ellie stumbled back, her breath coming in ragged gasps. The voice wasn't hers, but it came from somewhere deep, as if the mask had burrowed into her very being. "No," she choked out, her fingers clawing at her face, her nails scraping wood. The mask laughed, a sound low and guttural, like wood splintering under pressure. Her screams filled the room, echoing off the walls, but the mask's laughter was louder. It swallowed her voice, drowned it in a cacophony that seemed to stretch on forever. In the mirror, her reflection smiled. It wasn't Ellie anymore. It was the mask, and it was alive.